Hello, my name is Mary.
Hello, my name is Joseph.
And we are Advent people. Now, where to begin?
Yes, where to begin?
I guess it all started when the angel came to see me.
I guess it all started when Mary came to see me
And said, you are going to have a son. A son, I said, but I'm not even married.
A son, she said, but how's that even possible?
Do not fear, the angel said.
Do not fear, she said.
Do not fear? Of course I'm afraid. Do you realize what this means for me, for my family, for Joseph and my baby?
Do not fear. Of course I'm afraid. This is crazy. This isn't how it was supposed to be.
Do you know what you're asking of me? What will people think? What will my parents think? Oh, I know that children out of wedlock might not seem like such a big deal to you in the 21st century, but it's literally deadly in a world where you can be stoned to death for adultery. But even if I escape that kind of punishment, there is still the shame I'll have to endure from my community. I can see it now, my parents sending me away in tears to live with cousin Elizabeth. I guess that wouldn't be so bad. Elizabeth might be the only one who could truly understand this miracle. For me, saying yes to God means risking all my relationships with my parents and my reputation in my community. I've signed myself up for a life of endless stares and gossip behind my back. It's like I'm choosing between the favor of God and the favor of everyone else. I guess when you put it that way, the choice seems obvious. But it's not just the approval of my friends and family I'm giving up. I'm also giving up my body and maybe my life. Giving birth is a risky business in my time. No hospitals or OBGYNs. Heaven forbid that I give birth in some unclean place like a stable. When I signed up to follow God's command to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might, I didn't realize this is what God had in mind. Giving birth is going to take all my heart, soul, and might for 9 months, as well as the many years of raising a son. God wasn't just asking me to give up Sunday mornings. God was asking me to give up my whole self so I could bear God into the world. What have I gotten myself into? What have I gotten Joseph into? What does he think about all this? You know, he's not just some guy I've been prearranged to marry. Joseph and I are just like most Jewish newlyweds, two young people in love. But will that young love be strong enough to survive this greeting from God? In addition to my community, my family, and myself, will I also need to sacrifice my love for him? I told him yesterday about it, and I could practically hear his heart breaking. He stared blankly at me for a while, and then he said he needed some time to think. I know he's a good man, but he's no fool. Oh, Joseph, please don't leave me. I can only hope that he has as much faith in me as I do in him. But if I lose him, I don't know what I'll do. I'll be a single mother, scorned by her husband-to-be, shunned by her parents, and shamed by her community. I'll have lost everything to love God. I guess being one of God's Advent people means having a love that is willing to make hard sacrifice. It means loving God, heart, soul, and might, so that God's love can come into this world. I hope Joseph is one of God's Advent people too. I wish I knew what he was thinking.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm confused, worried, excited, angry, and terrified. When Mary told me she was going to have a baby, I think my brain exploded. At first I thought it was a joke. Ha ha, Mary, you can take the pillow out of your robes now. But then I looked into her eyes and saw she wasn't kidding around. My heart sunk. I think I stared at her blankly with my mouth wide open for a whole minute, trying to say something, but all I was able to muster was, I need some time to think. Instead, I took a nap. And that's when I had the strangest dream. I dreamed of an angel telling me it was all going to be okay. I'd like to say that when I woke up, it all made sense, but truth is, things seemed so much clearer before all this happened. You see, I'm a carpenter, so I look at every situation like a carpenter. I've always got a building plan, a blueprint, and if you build things according to the plan, it always works out. My plan was fall in love. get married, then have a baby and name him Joseph Jr. But a pregnant fiance with a miracle baby named Jesus? That was not part of the plan. I already was nervous about being a dad when it was going to be my kid. But now I'm supposed to be dad to the Son of God? There's nothing about that in the parenting manuals. How do you tell God to go to his room or pick up his toys or to eat with his mouth closed? And I guess I can learn all that, but I just feel like I'm giving up, a normal life with my son. Instead of learning how to be a carpenter like me, he'll be over at the synagogue teaching the rabbis. Instead of me teaching him how to swim, he'll be showing me how he can walk on water. I guess I'm having a hard time letting go of my plan and accepting God's. But maybe that's what Advent people are called to do. But even if I say yes to this new plan and go back to Mary, the hardest part will be swallowing my pride. When I left her yesterday, I'm sure it broke her heart. I was supposed to love her no matter what. And at the first sight of trouble, I ran. How do you admit that you are weak and scared when you're supposed to be strong? How do you say, I was wrong to the person who put all their trust in you? How do you start to mend the heart that you broke? I guess all I can do is be honest with her. Tell her I've been a fool, and if she still loves me with all my flaws, then I'll know we are going to make it. Maybe being Advent people is also about sacrificing our pride and not letting it get in the way of love. I hope that is true. It's taken so long for me to figure this all out. I can only imagine Mary's thinking the worst, that I've deserted her forever. No, Mary, I'm not leaving you. I'm ready to give up my plans, to let go of my pride, and make room for what God is going to do, because I love you and we are Advent people.
Loving God, by your love, you created us.
Loving God, you created us for love.
And even when we turned away,
you never turned away from us.
Forgive me when I seek the favor of others instead of your favor.
Forgive me when I follow my own plans instead of your plans.
Help me to love you with all my heart, soul, and might.
Help me to let you love me, body, mind, and soul.
It gives me strength knowing that I'm not the only one giving something up.
We forget that you are giving something up too.
You've left your throne in heaven to make your home on earth.
You've left behind power to come in great weakness.
You've given us your only Son to save us.
You've given us your only Son to be God with us.
You've given your only Son so that we could know your love. Your love like the love of a mother to her child.
Your love like the love between a husband and wife.
These sacrifices I make gladly because you have given yourself for me.
What I give up willingly because your love is better than life.
My reputation, my body, my happiness, my love.
My doubt, my plan, my pride, my love, we
give them to you, for we are Advent people. People who love because you first loved us.
People who give as you have given.
People who bear your love into the world. Yes, we are Advent people.